Let's talk first of all about the global economy. It's slowing down. It's probably as a result of what is happening with the trade tension between China and the United States. Central banks, including the Fed, are cutting interest rates as a result. Why doesn't this slowdown show up in your numbers?
Guy, it doesn't show up in our numbers because we are doing a 20-year forecast, and we have experienced in our industry the great resilience of traffic growth towards occasional negative influences. So we do continue to see overall a economic growth of 2.8%, and that in itself fuels traffic growth on average of 4.3%. It's the resilience that makes us confident.
Okay. The trade narrative, though, is not going away anytime soon, it seems. It seems to be dragging on. And there's now a possibility of a new front. Airbus has lost a WTO dispute with Boeing. The understanding is that as soon as this ruling is made public, the White House is going to hit Europe with a series of tariffs, including on aircraft, but on a range of goods, including luxury goods, from everything to cheese. It effectively looks like the start of a new front in the trade war. Is this how you see it as well? Is this the Trump trade war with Europe beginning?
It would certainly be negative if it actually translated into a trade war, because barriers set up on one side of the Atlantic would see similar and probably higher barriers being built on the other side of the Atlantic. What we do hope, Guy, is that this is the premise of a negotiation, of people coming to the negotiating table, burying this old hatchet and moving forward. The reason we're saying this is that there is no gain for any side of the Atlantic in a trade war around aerospace. Airbus procures 40% of what we do in the United States. We produce aircraft and employ thousands of people in the United States. So an impediment to Airbus's business in the US would have immediate ripple effects into the ecosystem of aerospace, but also to the consumer by virtue of higher air ticket costs.
Just to change direction a little bit, do you worry that an escalation of tensions in the Gulf, a military conflict in that region, could affect demand? There is talk of a war in the Gulf. Emirates, for instance, is about to potentially place a very large order for Airbus A350s.
Well, obviously, these are not positive events, are they? But again, we're today talking about a 20-year forecast. History has proven in the early 90s, with the first Gulf crisis, that the industry rebounds very, very quickly and quickly wipes out any negative effect that a crisis of such nature has on global traffic and global economic growth. The main growth arena in our industry is going to be in Asia, and Asia in itself, PRC, China, India, Southeast Asia in general, is the bulk of the growth that we're going to experience in the next 20 years. So again, at the risk of sounding a little bit bullish here, whilst we can only regret geopolitical tensions here and there, globally our industry will continue.
Thank you very much indeed.